So, sorry, to bring on, when Cybermoor first set up, part of the wider communities was an element of training for the communities. I mean, we also ran courses later on in the later years, but that is very basics. And of course, if people haven't got broadband, they probably haven't got a computer at home, and they'll need to know the very basic stuff, which I think can be done in-house with assistants. You know, in the village hall, have an evening session. This is a computer, this is a mouse, this is what you can use. And that sort of thing can be done in-house, or with, you know, bring the trainer in. But it is, I think, the basic stuff does need to be there, so people are aware of what can be done and what can be found, because it's, again, a chicken and egg. If you don't use the internet, you don't know what's there. And it's a very big thing out there.
Did you want to add anything?
Well, I was going to mention training that was subsidised, I believe, when Cybermoor was set up. But there is still a small amount of training for new users still available now, I think.
Yeah, we've still actually got a CDC centre based in Langwathby, so they come up and do courses at the school. I think most of, well, a lot of the centres closed, but that one's still up and running.
I mean, there's still a need for posters and paper information in communities, even where there is an internet.
Okay, thanks. Ali, did you have a question?
Can I ask about stimulating demand, preaching to the unconverted, if you like, stimulating demand among people who don't know they need faster broadband yet, but I've got quite a few in my parish who maybe a little complacent about what they have.
I think it comes back to education and informing when you're starting out building your plan. Have open meetings in the village hall or wherever where you can invite people in, and have a computer, and if you can possibly have some form of simulated internet, if you have no internet, or provide something so people can get hands-on and play, because I think it's one of those things where you need to play. You need to have a hands-on to be able to demonstrate and show what is out there. I mean, even if it's only a simple Google search or something, you know, I think someone who's never seen that sort of thing before will be blown away by what you can find out there, and very quickly and very easily.
Once they've got it, they certainly don't want to lose it. Yeah, with me. I mean, it's very much the fourth utility, and it reminds the penalties of it. And they will sacrifice that when people stop smoking and the computer, believe it or not necessarily.
Okay, we've got time for 2 more questions. So, yeah.
Yeah, could I ask, have you looked at, it was following on the previous question, the 30% you've got take up, have you looked at the 60% who haven't taken up the service? Is it there with somebody else, competition could be, or they've no interest in the internet, or they perhaps too scared because of the lack of education or explanation? Have you looked at why they haven't taken up service?
Yeah, I think if I can answer that one, I think some people have gone to BT. If you think Alston has the sort of an national average internet rates, then you'd probably say about a third are with BT, and then a third haven't got a connection. And there's all sorts of reasons for that. For that third of the population that haven't taken it up, and there's huge amounts of effort going into actually connecting those people at the moment. I was sat in a cafe this morning, got my laptop out, and the woman sat on the table opposite said, "Those things have ruined the world." I didn't tell her where I was coming today. But I think there is still people around Alston who have that sort of attitude, and we rub along with it. They know they're never going to take it up, and we sort of think, well, what's the point of we don't want to make ourselves to be a pain, constantly having a go at them. When the time's right, then they'll come on board with it.
Can I add something? Just it did occur to me that those of you that are thinking of setting up and doing it, how much time does this take? And I was just saying to Anne that I thought it probably, for me, it's probably about 2 days a month. Now, I think it depends on how much we do other people. It might be half a day a month. But if you're thinking about time commitment, I mean, a day a month probably would be the average. We meet once a month. Would that be about right?
Yeah, and then
Yeah, and
there's
other
probably
things
other
we
time
do.
doing a little bit of
Yeah.
research and stuff like that, yeah.
Okay, last question from Neil.
Yeah, as a board of a cooperative, two questions. First of all, do you have contested elections? And secondly, how do you measure the health of the organisation as a cooperative in addition to its financial health and its social objectives?
The lack of complaints sometimes. It's as simple as that. When the system starts breaking down, I will invariably get phone calls, I get under Jenny and everybody else. And if it's working, that's one measure of it, I suppose.
Can I add something slightly different in that what we do is we review, we've got processes and procedures, and at the moment we're in the middle of reviewing all of those.
True.
So there's, if you like, that version. If if people aren't banging on our door, then it's doing okay. But we need to be more proactive than that, which is at board meetings, just looking at different things we need to put with that. We have quite a lot of research that's done to see how we're working. And that didn't answer the first. What was the first question? No.
I think it's. I think with that, it's always a bit of a challenge in a small community to actually get a team together of directors and then build their capacity to be able to do it. And if we had different board of directors every year, then it would be very difficult to have that sort of long-term continuity within the organisation and have that strategy. Because as a small organisation as well, bringing in new directors, there's an overhead involved in training them up to actually to be at the right skill level and to understand how the organisation works. So we have the AGM every year, and people can come forward then if they want to be part of it. But the other thing that we're just doing as well is an impact assessment as part of the social return on investment from the new fibre network, so we can actually work out what positive impacts are going to be for the community and then measure those going forward in the future.
If I could just add from an administrative point of view, the directors, by the requirements of the Articles of Association, are elected for a period of 3 years and they resign at the end of that period. It tends that every AGM we invite anybody who wants to be a board member to put themselves forward. From a management point of view, it tends to be more of an issue to try and convince the directors who are coming up to resignation to stay on for another 3 years than it does anybody dissuading. So if we did have a large number of people with their hands up being interested, then there is no restrictions against it being a contested election. We just don't have enough enthusiastic volunteers, shall I say.
Is it a quick one?
It's a very quick one. Is your website self-funded? Does it pay for itself?
Doesn't generate enough revenue from advertising. But what we do is we work on different projects which focus on the website, and that tends to bring in the revenue to keep it going. Okay, thanks very much to the directors.
Thank you all.